Hi, this is Sandy Oberlees.
Hi, this is Russ Swallow.
Hi, this is Coach Clay.
Hi, this is Timothy Brinkley. Hi students, welcome back. This is our final lesson on this Excel budget stuff. Thank you for hanging in there with us. I'm Mr. Brinkley.
And I'm Miss Oberlees.
And we're just going to show you how to touch up this budget we've been making. You did a great job. It's going to look something like this with a bigger title and alternating rows. And we're going to go into a little bit about how to print it out to share it with friends, family, and also dealing with some quirks that kind of come up in either Excel or Google Sheets. So here we go. What are we starting with, Ms. Oberlees?
All right, well, this is what it looks like in Sheets. So we're going to go to Excel and we will work from there. There are some differences. So we're going to start out with some formatting. So I'm going to click on the title and I'm going to click up here and give it a big font. I'm going to go with Comic Sans just because I like the lettering, and I'm going to make it big, and notice it automatically gets bigger, and I'm going to make it bold because this is my title. The next thing I want to do is format the numbering or the money, basically the numbers, so that they are money. So I'm going to highlight all the way budget plan through December.
All the way over to average. Do the whole thing.
Shift right arrow and go to currency. That gives us dollar signs.
Wait, how did you get the currency?
I clicked this under number and chose currency. And that gave us dollar signs. But for me, it's too busy when I have dollar signs on everything. So I'm going to leave the budget plan and my average and totals and subtotals. I'm going to leave those alone. But I'm going to come for the January through December and say
no dollar signs.
More number formats. I'm still in currency, but I'm going to go up to where it says symbol, none, and say OK. And I'm going to do the same.
Could you format your painter and apply it that way?
I could.
Probably.
Although at this point, I'm just going to.
Yeah, at this point.
Just go quickly.
There's always lots of ways to do the same thing. So just do the one that you're familiar with. Okay. All right, so now we have our numbers formatted without dollar signs where we want no dollar signs. The next thing we want to do is add in a pie chart to kind of show our income and our expenses. I'm going to add in $500 from parents just for this pie chart so you can kind of see a difference between the two here. So we have parents, and job one will have something in it. So I'm just highlighting the area that I want to be included in the pie chart, and I'm going to go to the 2D pie right here, and you can see that it has this orange slice is the parents and the blue slice is the job one. And so now to move this, you just click anywhere inside of this graph, not on the outside like this, but just anywhere where it's a four-way arrow. We're just going to drag that over here to the right side and put it up near the top near income. I'm eventually going to have these charts go on a separate page. I'm going to do the same thing down here for expenses, and I'm going to hold down shift to go up here, shift up arrow to get down to the miscellaneous. I don't want to include subtotal, otherwise that'll mess up your pie chart, be totally wrong. So right there, miscellaneous, you can see this whole section is now selected. Where do we go? Insert, then where?
Pie.
Yep, pie. And then
2D.
Here, 2D pie. And that will insert our other pie. Now, I don't like how this one looks, but the web version of Excel doesn't give us very many options to how to change the look of that. So I'm just going to drop it over here at the end of the columns and put it underneath the income chart.
If you're using the desktop version of Excel, there are a lot more options as far as the charts go, and you can change the way the headings so that it looks a lot bigger.
We've got the pie charts in there. Now let's make the alternating rows. All right, Ms. Oberlees, you want to take that?
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my, actually I don't even have to highlight, I'm just going on the Home tab where it says Format as a Table. I'm going to click on that.
Format as a table, there we go.
And I've got an option to pick all sorts of different colors and styles. I'm going to go with just picking one that's medium, an orange one here. And notice it started where my cursor was, and it kind of selected that. Looks
So
like
it figures out all the things in your table as long as there are no blank columns between your data.
We also want to take this and center it real quick. And then there is an option when you're in the tables.
Under Table Tools Design.
Right here, Table Tools Design. Filter buttons. See, I can filter it by month, but we don't really need that, so we're going to leave it turned off. But I wanted you to be able to see that it was there.
We also checked first column to make that whole left column bold, but you can turn that on or off if you prefer. So let's show what Google Sheets can print. Now, Google Sheets has a lot more options when it comes to print, so I'm going to press Control-P on the keyboard, or you can also press this print button right here, and it brings up a bunch of options. Now, we've already turned some on before, and I love it that it remembered what I did before, but let me just show you what it would look like if you hadn't done it before. Down here under headings and footers, you can see that we can turn on all of these different things. So watch when I turn on page numbers, it shows up right down here. You see that? Workbook title.
Or upper
There we go.
left.
And then the sheet name will go up here in the upper right, 2020. Current date and time go down into the bottom left. Notice how it's breaking across to 2 pages. Now the reason it's doing that is because we turned on custom page breaks. Now usually this won't be on as a default, and it will just fit everything on one page. But let's say I wanted to put my charts there on a separate page. I could turn on custom page breaks and edit it, and this would allow you to see where the page breaks are. And so these lines, these dotted lines or these solid lines are actually draggable. And so we can drag that to where we want it to page break and press confirm break. It'll put everything to the right of that line on a separate page. Now, for some reason, it's also including one of the columns that I didn't want in there, but it's okay. I'm all right with that. One more thing before we go over to Microsoft. If we wanted to print all of these different worksheets down here, like the fuel cost calculator and the apartment pictures, we could tell it to print all the worksheets at the same time. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to press Control-P again, or you could press that print button. And up here, instead of just printing the current sheet, we are going to print the whole workbook. Notice there's another option as well to select just a part of your worksheet. All right, once I click workbook, notice what it's doing. It's putting each worksheet on a separate page.
In order to get this last workbook to show up, we had to come in there and print some text on that page. Otherwise, just the picture by itself, it would not have printed.
All right, and then we click next when you're done and you're ready, and it will show you a little preview for Chrome, and then you can save it as a PDF, or you can save it to Google Drive, or you could print it to your printer. And if you save it as a PDF, it'll ask you where you want to save it. We're not going to get into that because you guys are at the end of this semester and you already know
how to save that. And then attach a copy of your printout to the Google Classroom assignment page, as well as the spreadsheet that you've got. So now we're going over to Microsoft Excel. And over here, this time we're going to actually use on the File tab over here on the far left, we're going to click there. This is what's called the Backstage view. And we're going to click Print. And it's saying Show a Print-Friendly View. All right, so now it's asking basically the active sheet. We could have chosen entire workbook, the same as we did, but we're going to just do the active sheet for this one. I need to tell it landscape, and then I need to change the page size. For some reason, it's defaulting to the British page paper. So we're going to go up to the top here and choose letter, 8.5 by 11, and then
the scaling.
And right now, if I do no scaling and I say print, it gives me this preview. But look at this. It cuts here in August at 1, and then it flips over, goes over here, and then notice I've got all these extra pages. Oh, look at this. There's this funky S in the middle of there. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this, close that, and I'm going to say File, Print again. But this time, again, it's not remembering my settings for some reason, so I'm going to come over here and set those. But this time I'm going to say Scaling, Fit Sheet on one page, and say Print.
Now, if yours looks like this, you're going to be marked down because we don't want it to be that small. What this means is that there are some kind of character way off on some row on the right side or way on the bottom that needs to be deleted. Let's cancel this, and Ms. Oberle will show you how to get rid of those.
We're going to go scroll over to the left and put our cursor on the first column where we no longer have any data. And we're going to hold down the Control key so we can jump and the Shift key so we can select, and then press the key that says End, E-N-D. E, and it selects
END.
and it selects everything. And notice over here, I've got some stray letters somewhere, a couple of them. So rather than trying to find them all, I'm going to press the delete key on my keyboard, and that means it goes away. And then I can click once, control home to get back to the front, and go back to print one more time.
So home and end are next to your delete button if you're having a hard time finding those.
Paper size.
And
Active
before you
sheet.
print it, Ms. Oberles, can you just point out where the entire workbook is?
That's right here. If I print, this would print those extra pages, the 2020 as well as the cost calculators that were in there. But we're just going to print active sheet for now. Fit to one page, print. And now that I've gotten rid of all those stray characters that were down here, it prints regular size.
So the way we're going to be scoring you is that you have a bigger title at the top, alternating cells, you have your numbers all filled in, and you have some pie charts over there on the right. So you're going to attach that PDF as well as your Google Sheet or your link to Microsoft Excel file.
Good job.
Well, we've enjoyed making this series for you, and I hope it's been a blessing for you and gives you some skills for your future. We'd love to hear any feedback that you have in the comments. We'll see you on the next lessons, but we are done with this budget, so congratulations.
Yay, good job. Bye-bye.
Bye.